Hey guys, welcome back to the Gazelle Lab. This is Anthony. Today I have one epic phone battle for you with the Google Nexus 5 from LG against Apple's latest iPhone 5S. So this pretty much represents the top of the line for Google and the top of the line for Apple. So this is a nice comparison if you're looking to pick up either one of these phones. Let's start out with the hardware. So first of all, you'll notice that the Nexus 5 is a lot bigger than the iPhone 5S. With this, when we're talking about screens on the Nexus 5, it's a really nice 4.95 inch display, and what you're looking at in terms of PPI is 445 PPI, which is really nice. 1080 by 1920. Then on the iPhone 5S, you're looking at 640 by 1136 at a 4-inch display, 326 PPI. So it's the same Retina display that's been in the iPhone for quite some time. So in terms of color and clarity, the Nexus 5 edges out the iPhone 5S a little bit, and overall, I like a bigger screen, so I would have to go with the Nexus when it comes to the screen. In terms of size, dimension, and weights, we'll get into that right now. On the Nexus 5, like I said, it is bigger. It's 138 by 69 by 8.6 millimeters thin, so it's a nice size device, but it does feel really nice in the hand still. This is a plastic build, a non-removable battery. We'll get into the battery a little bit. On the back, you notice the big round camera sensor, LED flash. On the bottom, you have the charging port. On this side, you have these ceramic buttons, which is nice. This is the volume rocker. On this side, you have the power button and the SIM slot. On top, standard 3.5 jack. It's a little bit offset to the side. I chose the white version. This is a 32 gigabyte version. It's the only one available when I purchased it. On the bottom, you do have speaker grills on both sides. On the iPhone, you have really nice. It looks nice. It's solid. This is the gold version. It's a 32 gigabyte gold version, unlocked. On one side, you have a volume rocker, mute switch. On the other side, nano SIM slot, not a micro SIM slot. Bottom, headphone jack, speaker grills, and lightning port for charging and syncing, and on top you have the power button. When you head to the back, now you have a dual LED flash and the camera sensor. So overall, it's a fantastic build quality on the iPhone 5S. I'd have to say the iPhone 5S build quality is better, but I still prefer the Nexus 5 because of the screen size. If the iPhone had a bigger screen, who knows? I could eventually switch to it one day. No promises though. Heading back into some of these are both, like I said, both non-removable batteries and both feature non-removable storage. So you do get a 16 and 32 gigabyte option with the Nexus 5, and on the iPhone you do have either 16, 32, and 64. In terms of RAM, you get 2 gigs of RAM on the Nexus 5, and you do get only 1 gig of RAM on the iPhone 5S. Both have Bluetooth 4.0, A2DP, NFC on the Nexus 5, which is something we still don't see on iPhone. So if you're into near-field communication, mobile payments, that kind of stuff, syncing or pairing with Bluetooth speakers or NFC speakers, the Nexus 5 is going to do it. And also wireless charging. There is a new wireless charging stand. And there's also some third-party charging stands that I also review on our YouTube channel. Let's get into camera right now. So the Nexus just received an update, which I will show you in the software about phone. So I'm running 4.4.2, which features the latest update from Google, which does feature a little bit, a better camera. So I'm going to take a camera shot, pull out our classic key and screen wipe, and let's take a picture of that. So you tap to focus. The interface is very simple, not too much going on, you can tell right there. We'll tap it, it will focus, and we'll take a nice picture. We'll bring that up, and then we'll do the same with the iPhone. And the iPhone offers a really nice camera on the 5S. Same thing. So here you go, 2 pictures. You notice a little bit better color definition and quality on the iPhone 5S. But overall, the camera update on the Nexus 5 is much appreciated. It's still not as good as the iPhone, but it's getting there. So in terms of camera, I'd probably give it to the iPhone when it comes to camera. Okay, speaking of that, you do have Siri on the iPhone 5S, and then with the Nexus, as we get into some of these software features, you do have Google Now. So to get Google now, all you really have to do is just talk to it. So, okay Google, and it will come up. So that's really nice. You don't have to really push anything or hold anything. You can just say okay Google and everything goes. Other features of 4.4.2. So to go down, you swipe down, and you have instant settings. Right now I'm in airplane mode for the review. But then iOS 7 brings some of those nice features as well. So if you go up, you have this control center, and you can do almost kind of the same stuff. So a lot of the same tweaks and features are available for both operating systems. One thing that the iPhone does have is Touch ID, which is really cool. So I'm locked, I'm back on, put my thumbprint down, which is already registered, and I pop in. With Android, you still need either a PIN code or a pattern code. So I really like Touch ID. So in terms of new features, I would have to say the iPhone 5S is really offers some great features, and the iOS 7 is a redesign and a new kind of like all new operating system, where KitKat is kind of just a refresh coming from 4.1. But overall, both of them are fantastic phones. When we're talking battery life, I pretty much experienced the same battery life with both devices, even though the Nexus 5 does feature a 2300 mAh battery over a 1560 on the iPhone. Remember, the bigger screen, the bigger, brighter screen uses a lot more battery. So you're getting 300 hours on the Nexus 5 and about 250 on the iPhone. But overall, using them day to day, they're almost the same. So I'd have to say battery, it's pretty much a tie. When it comes to the actual software and power under the hood of these things, you're looking at a Snapdragon 800. It's a Qualcomm 2.3 gigahertz chip and an Adreno 330 GPU. And then with the iPhone, you're looking at Apple's latest A7 dual-core 1.3 chip, and it's powered by a G643 quad-core graphics. And you do have the M7 co-processor for some kind of games and motion tracking stuff. So very powerful. It is 64 bits, so it is future-proof when they decide to add more RAM to different iPhones, iPhone 6, iPhone 7 down the road. So in terms of power, both very powerful devices. I think you see a little bit better for performance because of not only the 64-bit, but iOS 7 is a little smoother, a little less heavy than KitKat. But overall, very close, pretty much almost a tie when it comes to speed, power, and performance on these two devices. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to operating system and ecosystem. What are you already tied into? iPhone users are most likely going to go with an iPhone S, but does that mean iPhone 5 owners or 4S owners should upgrade? And that's a big question. I think if you have a 5 going to a 5S, you're not going to see a massive update. You're going to see Touch ID, a little bit better performance, but overall you're going to see the same form factor and same operating system. So I think if you're a 4S and under, it's definitely worth the upgrade. iPhone 5 owners might want to hold out until next year's 6. That's totally up to them. But with the Nexus, what you do get is not only an amazing price. It starts at $350 unlocked, $399 for this 32 gigabyte, but you get a fast processor, better screen. You get KitKat, which is not available on pretty much any other Android device right now. So I think for any other Android device user out there, you can't go wrong with the Nexus 5. Overall, I think it's a more worthy upgrade for Android users compared to the iPhone 5S for iPhone users. So there's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check out our other videos on our YouTube channel. Thanks.